Mom, is that you? Yeah, I can't see you. You're gonna have to point the camera at your face. Yeah, I just see the ceiling, like the overhead light. Yeah, okay, I cut part of your hair. Point it down further. There you are. Hey, Mom, how you doing? Look, I can't talk long. I gotta go prepare for Concrete Cabaret's first ever online cabaret. Can you believe it? Yeah, it's gonna be fun, wacky. You know, it's wacky times we're living in. Anyway, thanks a lot. I'm gonna call you back, okay? I gotta go get some stuff to prepare.
Don't you want your event to be a smash? Oh yeah, my cell phone. Everyone, and welcome to Concrete Cabaret number 5,
Embracing the Potato Lifestyle, our first ever online edition due to, well, you know, the pandemic. I'm your host, Pandemic Potato, of the sweet variety, and honored to be here representing Concrete Cabaret. We want to start by thanking the indigenous people of this land for hosting us today. This land is the territory of the Anishinaabe, the Haudenosaunee, and the Huron-Wendat First Nations, and the current treaty holders, the Mississaugas of the New Credit First Nation. This meeting place is still the home of many indigenous peoples from across Turtle Island, and we're grateful to be able to work and perform in this community and on this territory. As puppeteers and material performance artists and potatoes, we want to acknowledge that by being on this land, we enter into the dish with one spoon wampum belt covenant, a treaty established between the Anishinaabe and the Haudenosaunee peoples. This treaty defines the land and waters of the Great Lakes region as a place that we all need to take care of together. So let's keep the dish clean, keep these lands and waters clean, and let's share the spoon. Share what we have equitably and generously. So, how y'all doing? Are you embracing the potato lifestyle yet? If you haven't seen your jeans in 6 weeks, I'd say you're doing it pretty good. Well, maybe some of you are asking, what is the potato lifestyle? Well, as a potato, I'd say it's a lot of sitting on the couch, scrolling through how-to recipe videos while also rewatching Gilmore Girls for the 4th time. Thank goodness. Concrete Cabaret is going to help us tap into something a little different this evening. All from the comfort of our beloved couches. We want to bring you entertainment, ideas, experiments, people doing stuff with stuff on stage and doing it online. We wanted to do this IRL, but at least we can do it URL. Zing! We have 6 enticing experimental pieces to share with you. Short videos, couple of performances, and potatoes, and puppet enthusiasm galore. Our first guest is Robin Pulphus. She introduces herself by saying, "Puppet what is made from a sock. She may be small, but her imagination and feelings are big. She's been coping with quarantine by working on short video projects and pestering her puppeteer during Zoom meetings. Ha! Don't we all know how that goes? She does not understand why she needs to be quarantined because being mostly a wool sock, she's immune to almost everything. She doesn't have the best grasp of the importance of the puppeteer. Anyway, fortunately, she is surrounded by many friends, mostly puppeteers, and also her puppeteer, and hopes to make many more fun video projects, which she will post on YouTube. Channel is Sock Puppety, and link on her Facebook page, /puppet what. Thanks, Robin.
Shadow, where'd you go, Shadow? Shadow, where are you? Oh, I can't find him anywhere. Shadow. Oh, I've lost my friend Shadow, and I've looked everywhere for him. But, haha, I have an idea. I am going to write a letter to him. I'm going to go get my typewriter. My trusty typewriter. With this typewriter, I shall write a letter, and then when the post person delivers it to Shadow, I will know where Shadow is. Haha. Dear Shadow, where are you? Oh, a typo! This is never gonna work. I'm never gonna find him this way. I'm never gonna find him. Oh, I'm sorry I threw the paper. Now how will I find Shadow? Ah! Wow! It landed in the recycle bin. That's spectacular! Ah! Oh! Shadow! Quack, quack! Shadow! Quack, quack! Yay! Oh, I'm so glad I threw that paper in the bin. I would never have found you otherwise. Aha! What do we do now? Good idea! I'm gonna go hide, and you come find me. Gotta put the paper in now. Can't do this, I'm a puppet. Typing is hard.
When I told my best friend that I was hosting, she was like, yo, you gotta have some self-deprecating jokes. Classic MC move. So, here goes. What do you call a potato's least favorite dance? The mashed potato! What do you say to an angry baked potato? Anything, just butter him up. Speaking of egos, one of my favorites, what do you call it when Trump gets crossed with a potato? A dictator. Our next performer is Concrete Cabaret veteran Alex Winfield with Whale Fall. Alex Winfield was born in Bermuda, where he spent his childhood in and around the ocean. He made several friends, not all of them human, and he has written obsessively since he was young. He works with puppets and has performed with them all around the world. And he lives here and is probably locked down here in Toronto. The music is by Lauren David Thompson from his album Memories and Memories, available on Bandcamp. Take it away, Alex!
The whale is the largest animal to have ever existed. It soars the ocean depths like a dream exploring a blue mind. The whale's gargantuan, inconceivably large. Yet there comes a time when even this immense beast must die. The whale grows still. The whale's heart ceases to beat. And the dream of the whale ends. The whale falls. And yet the descent is a rapid one. Once it reaches the bottom of the sea, the corpse begins to decompose. Slowly it becomes a landscape of bone and rotting flesh. But the tale of the whale is far from done, for this landscape is soon filled with all number of bizarre inhabitants. The whale corpse has become, in effect, a festival. The first of these creatures to arrive is normally the Albino Octopus. The octopus is a cultivated and common member of the undersea community. We have him here today. Monsieur Octopus, what is your opinion on the whale fall?
Whale fall is quite an occasion. We have all sorts of people arriving, the big and the large. If I must be honest, the whale itself, as far as taste goes, is second rate, you know. I'm not so fond of it. It's tough and insipid. Monsieur Octopus, do you feel the whale fall is a proper occasion to be noted in the calendar of the undersea community? Yes, but again, I'm not here for the whale itself. I'm here for the society, for the greeting of friends. I'm a social animal, you see. Yes, social animal.
Another undersea resident that is quite common at these events is Madame Osedax muciflorus, the bone-eating worm. She's around here somewhere. Oh, yes. Madame Osedax, could you perhaps give us a quick summary of your feelings of the whale fall?
There's nothing more delightful when I find the bones. Oh, I get so ecstatic. Oh, I lay my eggs, and all that marrow becomes my nursery. I am the mother of cities, the beginning of all reality. Hello? Hello? Won't you die for me and my family? Won't you be our habitation? We'd love to be in you. Please hurry and die. I have no patience. Think of the children. Think of the children.
Madame Osedax muciflorus. The whale fall is a fascinating phenomenon, a process by which, well, in effect, life and decay is taken through death and out the other side, becoming in the end a new form of life. It really is quite wondrous. What ends begins again. It is a fine example of that wondrous habit of nature to take death into beauty and conclusion into the start of another story.
Well, thanks, Alex. BT Dubs, our next CC will be online as well, mid to late June. And for this one, we want to do something a little bit different. We don't want you to propose a finished show. We want you to join a team of other collaborators to make wacky, fun, and totally experimental puppet shows from a distance. Kind of like a virtual exquisite corpse, but with puppets. More details later in the show. Next up is one of our own CC co-founders, Alexandra Montagnese, with Lady Poseidon. The tides change. Let's pivot to digital. Easy enough when you've got the devices. You know how to use them. You've got the internet. You've got the time. You have a brain injury from an old concussion. A crashing wave topples you head first onto your own trident. Life normally oversees the sea. But it's day 44 of isolation, and you can't look at another screen or watery eye. A seasick Poseidon, a lady waiting on the tides.
Amphitrite sat at her desk going over the accounts. The administration of all the waters gave her endless work. She could have had as many assistants as she wanted, and indeed she had quite a number. But since she took this job very seriously, she insisted on going through all the accounts herself. With her husband out on the waters, this started off quite simple. He would do the hands-on work, she would take care of the accounts. Papers everywhere, covered in numbers. Poseidon returned from a long journey one day, throwing his trident down furiously on the sea floor. Although the tours can be tremendously tiring, he never acted this way. That's when she noticed the bump on his head. She can still see him standing in the doorway in a fury, a broken golden trident at his feet. No one ever knew what transpired for Poseidon. A mighty wave too great for his mighty ego. He spent more hours, days, and weeks on the water, finding rest spots other than his home. He was never quite the same. A seasick Poseidon. Amphitrite wondered, seasick missing the sea or seasick from the sea? One day, she picked up the small piece of his trident that she kept high on a shelf, and she threw it across the room. Amphitrite was alone, going over the accounts. This time, many years later, her shiny silver hair in place of the long-forgotten midnight black. Her eyes became tired, her heart weary. She was alone for 40 years. The tides had changed. Let's pivot to digital. An old concussion keeps her from spending too much time on screens. Before she ever met Poseidon, a crashing wave toppled onto her head. She won't forget it, but she wants to. Life for Amphitrite for years had been overseeing the sea docks. But it's year 44 of isolation, and she can't look at another screen or watery eye. Screens for cooking, screens for entertainment, screens for work. And when the work became too much, she enlisted the help of her son. But with Triton pooling in adolescent disgust, the last thing he wanted to do was contribute. Amphitrite asked once, twice for him to help, maybe take on some of the work, read her emails to her, copy some numbers onto paper. No. Even persuasion, her most favorable quality in life, won't match his stubborn adolescence or nature. He wants to go live with Dad. It cannot be said that she enjoys the work. She carried it out simply because it was assigned to her. Indeed, she had frequently applied for what she called more cheerful work. Collecting shells for jewelry, designing sea tops for other mer creatures. But whenever various suggestions were put to her, it turned out that nothing suited her so well as her present employment. She had a way with numbers. After all, She could not possibly be put in charge of the oceans as her ex-husband was, quite apart from the fact that in this case the work involved would not be less, only more petty, and Aphrodite could only hold a superior position. And when she was offered a post unrelated to the waters, the very idea made her feel sick. Her divine breath came short, and her breathing chest began to heave. As a matter of fact, everything made her feel sick. Screens for entertainment, screens for communication, screens for cooking, screens for work, screens for sex. No one took her troubles very seriously. No one ever really considered relieving Amphitrite of her position. She had been destined to be wife of the god of the seas since time immemorial, and that was how it had to remain. What annoyed her most, and this was the chief cause of discontent with her job, was to learn of the rumors that were circulating about her. For instance, that she was constantly cruising through the waves with his broken trident when he wasn't looking. Instead of which, here she was, sitting in the depths of the world's ocean, endlessly, going over the accounts. An occasional journey to Jupiter began, but only as an interruption of the monotony. A journey, moreover, from which he invariably returned in a furious temper. Why do they all use so many screens? And now it's year 68 of isolation, and screens are tenfold. As a result, she'd hardly seen the oceans, never really sailed upon them. That's what he did. She used to say that she was postponing until the end of the world. For then, there might come a quiet moment when, just before the end and having gone through the last account, she could still make a quick little tour.
Oh, thanks so much, Alex. Say, what do you call a potato that smokes weed? A baked potato. You know, a lot of people don't think so highly of potatoes. Sure, for starchy, flavorless pantry fare, but deep down, we're humble foundation builders, happy to be a supporting side dish. Hey, kind of like Concrete Cabaret. They love simply being a place where the community can come together and share 3 times a year. The fries under the poutine, if you will. And while we're grateful to create a sort of gathering in this virtual place to try and lift our spirits, rest assured it will not replace the true lo-fi exchange of real potato FaceTime when the time comes. Up next, Claren Grosz presents I Love the Smell of Gasoline. Claren Grosz is a Toronto-based theater and visual artist and artistic director of Pencil Kit Productions. She is presenting an excerpt from her play in development, I Love the Smell of Gasoline. This work is an attempt at reconciling her Alberta oil industry roots with the current environmental emergency. It was born of frustration with divisive Canadian politics, rampant hypocrisy, and a lack of team spirit when facing impending doom. Poignant stuff. Take it away, Claren!
The universe is estimated to be 13.772 billion years old, give or take 59 million years. In the very first picosecond of cosmic time, we don't think the laws of physics even apply. The Big Bang is the conception and expansion of space itself. The universe does not expand into anything and does not require space to exist outside of it. As a child, I lie awake at night and feel dizzy and hollow thinking about the edge of the universe, the impossibility of something continuing on indefinitely, and the even worse impossibility of it ending. I struggle with true nothingness. I can't see the starry night sky from Toronto or from Calgary. I wonder if that's why I feel so big and important. I love Calgary. Calgary exists at the Mohkinstsis, which is Blackfoot for elbow. It is at the sharp bend where the Bow River meets the Elbow River. Calgary is crying over cold toes while skiing. Calgary is 332 days of sun a year. Calgary is eating ketchup chips at the South Calgary pool as a child and breaking into it at night as a teenager. Calgary is the beating heart of the oil industry. I moved to the center of the universe when I'm 17, sight virtually unseen. I've been here for a decade now, much to my mother's dismay. When I go to the dentist for the first time, I hand over my healthcare card to the dentist receptionist, and she says, "Oh, you're from Alberta." She smiles into my little teenage face and says, "I've heard it's beautiful, but I just hate what they're doing with the oil sands." The most destructive mass extinction of all time happened 250 million years ago and was called the Great Dying. It was not the death of dinosaurs, as I had always suspected, but in fact led to the birth of dinosaurs. It preceded the Mesozoic Age, my favorite era, in which the dinos ruled the land, water, and sky for about 190 million years before the next mass extinction. This is when the formation of 70% of the Earth's oil reserves occur. The fossil fuels that are destroying our planet are made from these long-lost organisms. We pull them from their graves to re-witness extinction. What sins are irredeemable? Are humans supernatural? Is man-made the opposite of organic? Across the planet from each other, without communication, humans accomplish the incredible feat of building pyramids. What is written in our DNA? Are we more evil, important, or special than the other animals? The Great Dying was caused by greenhouse gases raising the temperature of Earth by just 5 degrees. The Earth only needs a small nudge to do its thing again and wipe its slate clean for the 5th time. The oceans are already acidifying, beginning to bubble with lethal hydrogen sulfide. This poisonous gas was the final chapter of the Great Dying. It took millions of years for the oceans to recover. 97% of life on Earth was extinguished. I switched to glass milk jugs and shampoo bars and LED light bulbs and laundry detergent strips and fabric napkins. Every time I see a cute baby, I wonder if I'll ever get to have one of those. When I see people with more than one kid, I burn a little bit inside, like, how dare you? I feel guilty about taking long showers, but at least I pee in the shower, so that's one less toilet flush, although I suppose I could have peed in the toilet and not flushed, but that seems kind of gross. I started getting grocery delivery service, but everything comes wrapped in individual plastic. My recycling bin fills to the brim with things that I know will never be recycled. Did you know that 9% of plastic on Earth has ever been recycled? But I don't have the time or the energy for meal planning. I am too busy spending hours in bed lying there thinking about the guy that I fucked over the weekend. But at least I don't drive a car. But I've never said no to a ride in my life. I think about that as I let someone drive me to the subway station while talking about the impending apocalypse and how Alberta's massive carbon footprint is to blame. Actually, we're kind of butting heads because I kind of feel like they're hating on Alberta, and I kind of think that's a little hypocritical, and I don't think that they know anything about the energy sector or the Albertan economy, but anyway, thank you for the ride. I tell my parents that they should put solar panels on the roof. Did you know that Calgary is the sunniest city in Canada? Just think about how that would shut people up, I think. Then I could just say, my dad put solar panels on the roof, so what if he worked in oil? My throat burned when I read about the first picosecond of the universe. There are some truths that are just too big for me to grasp. They slip through my fingers and the cracks between my teeth. I am lost in the space between an electron and the Milky Way, between a picosecond and 14 billion years. Am I minimizing the environmental crisis? Is that what I'm doing? Maybe I'm trying to package it a little smaller into a pill that I can actually swallow. When all I can see is black, I need a bigger frame. I need to see the edges of it. So I'm trying to find the edges.
Thanks, Claren. What do you call a stolen yam? A hot potato. Why did the potato cross the road? Huh? She saw a fork up ahead. Oh, this one's my favorite because I'm a math nerd. Any other math nerds out there? Raise your hands. What do you call a potato with right angles? A square root. Oh, that one never gets old. Ooh. By the way, have you checked out our fancy new website yet? ConcreteCabaret.com. We are so a fish, bish. We are also on social media. You know, gotta be. We're on Facebook. Oh, wait. You're there right now, so I don't have to plug it. And we're on the gram, Concrete Cabaret Toronto. Follow us if you don't already. And old school, consider signing up for our mailing list. We send out about 6 emails a year to alert you about submissions and performances. Cool? Cool! Up next, Molly McGregor with a rhyming couplet poem. That is so impressive. It is entitled Letting Go of the Greatest Love Story of All Time.
Letting go of the greatest love story of all time. It was the fall of 2018, and both parties were rather keen. To meet for a coffee would be so ideal, to begin to explain the way that they did feel. And so out came our lady so bold, our other fair maiden had the most intense head cold. You see, Lady 1 was new to her name, and Lady 2 did her best, but was going insane. So Lady 2 gave Lady 1 a headscarf and dresses, only to be met later with several caresses. You see, Lady 2 had seen something in her, a vastness in her soul that could only cure the ache in her heart to be held so tight, the validation she needed day in and day night. Our first lady we can call Lady B. The second lady? Well, we'll call Lady Me. Lady B was on a quest of the masses to cast off a gender of such terrible gashes, for she had once been a boy, and now is a girl. "I'm out," she whispered through her long brush of curls. Lady Me looked at her through the eyes of a child. "You're changing, you say? My shock is just mild." So Lady B visited Lady Me where I chose not to live, in a hospital ward where folks ate with a bib. See, Lady Me was just settling back into sane, and Lady B was drawn to the mania like a moth to the flame. On Lady Me's release 1 week before the holiday season, she called Lady B with a rhyme and a reason. Lady B was going to leave her partner of 4 years and move into her mom's house to address all her fears. Lady B would lie in the bath and Lady Me would try to make her laugh by sending her wild ideas on music so sweet. Lady B finally said, "Let's meet in 1 week." They lasted 4 days in a lithium haze, touched hands, lips, and tongues, and wild was their gaze. Caressed and prodded like they hadn't in years, The next few weeks followed, sharing their hopes and their fears. The two had surprised the masses with their tenderness, love, and rebellious sashes, and so our two Lady Leaves set off, blindly thinking their love would be enough. Their love lasted through a winter so dark, through a spring where both ladies would leave their mark on each other's families, held close and so dear. Who knew this would last but a year? You see, Lady Two had never learned how to heal the hurt in all the ways that she did feel. About their positions in life and their family relations, this torrent affair was a simple vacation from their opposing oppressions that once seemed to relate. Months later, all it did was negate from the growth that was stifled a codependent pattern Lady Me begged not to be trifled. And so began the long days and long nights that either ended in traumatized love-making or blood-curdling fights. You see, the two had clutched on so hard to a reality with the substance of lard. Two hurting people cannot cure the other, or else they might fall into a role of older sister or mother. Lady Me would dress our other great beauty on days where dysphoria led to the two fruits feeling less fruity. Lady B walked Lady Me through a winter of sad, and Lady Me struck through her absence, though it made her mad, and though Lady Me was needy and strange, Lady B loved her, though she was deranged. Perhaps too long, for after a while neither were strong. Lady B pushed her away, and Lady Me grew closer still. The breakup that follows made them both rather ill. And so now we turn to Lady Me's process. All she feels is that she knows less, although sometimes she feels that she may often know more when that lover of hers had walked the door. Lady B's quest had only just begun. Lady Me was a pit stop to have a little fun. The talks of marriage and children were off the table. This long drawn-up breakup was getting unstable. To be alone, a lesson I must learn. Lady B, farewell, for you I must not yearn. Here's how the conversation now goes, although I'm sure everyone knows. You see, there really was no end in sight, as our ladies began to forget their same fight. You see, alone time was really quite needed, but the lust for each other kept getting feeded. Their visits were filled with tears and soft kisses as they muttered their desires and their deep wishes. Lady Me begged for a date for an end, and asked, "Are you my lover or are you my friend?" Lady B greets us with a sigh to avoid more reasons why the two can't keep working things through, and says, "Darling, it's not me, it's you. Our pattern of love was just not for me. Perhaps one day you can rejoin my family tree, but for now is my time of boundary making, because my love for you is something I'm not faking. I just need some time to sort out how to heal, but it's hard, as missing you is how I feel. So let's speak later this month and work through our pain. I know you'll do your best without going insane. Focus on you, I'll focus on me. Then perhaps whole people will finally be." After this, Lady Me took a breath and says, "Look, I'm sorry I've been such a mess. Take the time you need and I will wait. I'll even learn how to masturbate. I'll wait for you as long as you need, or at least let you take the lead as to when you want to get together again, be it as lovers or be it as friends." What Lady Me forgot to mention was that being with others was her intention. What she ought to have said was that she'll wait for a while, but if someone else can make her smile, letting go of her lover might be easier, though being with others makes her feel sleazier. So now Lady Me makes her way of choosing a different lover day after day, until one afternoon, alone in a bar, she notices she can't feel very far into her heart that is cold but so deep, and after a while collapses in a heap. "No more emptiness," she silently exclaims. "I must fill this void with myself and friends, not this love-searching game. I must leave these lovers and sit with myself. Perhaps this is a way to focus on mental health. I have not yet learned to be alone, so Lady B, thanks for the kisses, but go home." So our lady leads had one final embrace, the threads of their love soon to unlace, because now that they're free they can finally grow into two women who know how to say no and when to say yes, and perhaps one day learn to address how to be with each other and go with the flow. But for now, they're learning how to let go. Now I take you to a journey part 2, where Lady B finally knew that Lady Me was the star in her sky and would like to take her hand to learn how to fly into a sky where both sun and moon coexist, to find healthier ways to ensure and resist a deep-seated pain that is hard to explain. And so our two little lovers went at it again. Although now things feel different and good, they're talking now like they once never could. Because sometimes a sun and a moon need space to relearn how to love their own face. It isn't until the self-love is secure that a love like theirs has a chance to mature. And so now we leave our moon and our sun as if their story had just begun. Because now is dusk, that time of day when the moon and the sun can find their way to exist again in the same sky, to never again share a final goodbye.
I haven't gone to the hairdresser in weeks. My roots are showing. I came up with that one myself. I didn't have to Google that. Anyway, to everyone out there, our next CC is going to be something very different, and we want you to be a part of it. As we're unsure how long we will be advised against gathering in large numbers, we are just going to plan another online concrete cabaret in mid to late June. But for this one, we don't want your finished show. All pieces for this one will be original virtual collaborations made just for this performance. Let me explain. Each 3-minute experimental puppet piece is created in 4 parts by 4 different people, virtually. For instance, I'll write a premise for a little 3-minute puppet show, and I'll pass it on to the next person. And from the premise I receive from someone else, I'll write a little script and pass it on to the next person. From the script I receive from someone else, I'll design a puppet and pass that design on. And then, the last step, each participant will create a short 3-minute piece from a premise, a script, and a puppet design from someone else, all within the confines of their own home, all with found materials that they already have. Consider it like a great, big, exquisite puppet slam corpse. We hope you'll join this puppet pandemic collab. Our last piece is a little pandemic film made by one of our CC co-founders, Annie Rollins, and her lockdown partner, young Chang, entitled We're in This Apart. Although the two of them had avoided working together for nearly 8 years, they were kind of forced to collaborate due to the, pandemic lockdown. And hey, turns out it was actually a really good thing and kind of really fun. They made a little movie about how they feel physically distant from everyone and how excited they will feel to reach out and be near people again soon. Hopefully, soon. show for this evening. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Thank you, audience, for your amazing energy. We felt it through this portal. Thanks to the Puppet Slam Network so much for their grant and allowing us to pay the artist with no ticket sales, so you can watch this for free. And we want you to just like grab another drink from the bar, tip your bartender. It's probably you. Also, thanks to our team, Heather, Sarah, Gabe, Annie, and Alex. Thanks to Cafe Concrete Montreal. And basically everybody who slams around the country. We love you guys. Solidarity. Stay safe. Stay awesome. We love ya. See you again.
Goodbye.